everyone. I'm Lauren Culp, the publisher and CEO at CUInsight.com. And joining me today for our 3-question video is Steve Swanston, the EVP at Velocity Solutions. Hi, Steve.
Hey, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good, good. Well, we are going to talk 3 questions. It's a super, super easy script here today, but the first one, I'll dive right in. We know that these are really difficult times for so many people for, the globe, really. What is Velocity Solutions doing to support credit unions and their members right now?
Thanks, Lauren. Couple of key things. First and foremost for us, it was being responsive to our existing client base, the several hundred credit unions that we have as clients, making sure that from a business continuity standpoint, our solutions were performing as needed so they could continue to support their members in a business as usual or as close to a business as usual environment as possible, making sure that the services flow down into their member base. And so we have, certainly a significant portion of our staff that is engaged with existing clients on any given day. And this no exception. So that was our mission. Number one was to make sure that, and I can say confidently and very happily that we have not had any continuity problems with any solutions or with any of our credit union clients.
That's amazing.
And then secondly, behind that, with regards to helping credit unions, we're blessed to be in a position to have a couple of relevant solutions in this marketplace. At a very high level, they evolve around digital lending, and one of them is specifically for consumer small dollar short-term lending. That is top of mind for everybody right now, and so that has provided us with some opportunity, I think, to be very instrumental and supportive, and many conversations over the last couple of weeks with lots of credit unions with regards how can they deliver small dollar lending to their members. We have the governmental relief and the CARES Act and some money flowing that way, but then beyond that, once people get back up on their feet for the next 6, 12, 18 months, what are their options for accessing some of those small dollar loans? And the interagencies came out 2 weeks ago, including the NCUA, strongly encouraging credit unions to be able to provide these loans. And so we're real happy that we can do that for them.
That's amazing. Yeah. And, I was seeing some recent projections of what unemployment is expected to peak at. And so the small dollar lending that credit unions are doing is so important. So cool to hear about the ways that Velocity can really facilitate that and provide the solution there. Yeah,
no, we're pleased and, again, fortunate to be in a position that of relevancy for these guys right now.
Right. Well, great. Thank you. It's so great to hear all the things that Velocity is working on. Business continuity, obviously, really important too. So that's excellent. So thinking ahead, there are going to be a lot of changes, some of them hard to predict, but how do you think that this whole situation, the whole coronavirus thing, how do you think that this will affect credit unions and the way that we all do business long term?
Yeah, you see every day on the news, or you look on social and read about the impacts and some of the cause and effects of things that, in your day-to-day life, you may not think about until you see it. You're like, wow, I never would have thought of that. And so there's this cause and effect scenario that has somewhat of a trickle down. But for credit unions specifically, and I've used this word a lot in the last couple of weeks, the fast forward button. I think this pandemic, this incident has or will serve as a fast forward button for a lot of industries, right? It's going to change the way we work. It's going to change the way our kids consume education. It's changed certainly the way we consume entertainment. And I definitely think progressively it will change and act as a fast forward button for how people bank and how our credit unions need to be able to provide service to their membership. And by fast forward, I think the obvious answer is the adoption of technology. There were a lot of credit unions that were out ahead, that were early adopters of technology. And I'm not just talking digital banking, so somebody can get online. But there needs to be kind of a 360-degree look at how do we provide virtual relationships to our membership.
Right.
Maybe because they want to consume it that way, but in a situation like this, they have to consume it that way. And our credit union partners need to really be the leaders in that space, ideally, and not the laggards as they go into that space, because the consumer, the member, is kind of going to demand, and in some cases they don't have a choice. They need those services.
Right.
And I'm very hopeful our credit union community will step up and provide that. And we don't see our members needing to seek it elsewhere. I think credit unions have the chance to really be the centerpiece as we recover over the next 12, 18 months from some of the economic hardships on this, both from an individual member standpoint and even their small business clients. I really hope that they step up and respond to being that centerpiece.
That's such a great point with the adoption of technology too. I can imagine many members who would never have wanted to use mobile banking or online banking until they had no choice, but you get used to it after that. And so it'll be really interesting to see as we fast forward how all of that will run its course.
It's like I wasn't used to seeing myself on video calls, but now I am.
Right, exactly. We're on lots of video calls these days. Well, great, Steve. I have one more question for you, the third of 3 here, and that is how are you doing personally? What's been keeping you sane through these difficult times?
Yeah, no, it's everybody handles things a little differently. I'm fortunate, I would say, to have worked in a home-based environment for the last 17 years. So,
right.
Outside of taking a shower and going to the airport, as I get busy, day in and day out, sitting here in this office is what I've done for 17 years. My kids are home, but again, fortunately, they're both fairly self-sufficient teenagers. My daughter did comment this morning that she saw this shirt that I put on and asked if I was going somewhere, because it's the first college shirt she's seen me wear in 2 weeks. So I got dressed up just for this meeting. But then it's a matter of engagement, and I read a lot. I like to work out, and so we have some opportunities to do that here. And then certainly, consuming of entertainment in idle time, like the rest of the planet is putting the internet infrastructure through its paces right now. So
right.
That's personally, that's what I've been doing.
That's great. Well, yeah, with 17 years of, you said 17, right? Working from home.
17 working from home and traveling most weeks, but working from home.
Wow. So if anyone has any questions about how to work remotely, you are their go-to expert.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, right? In 17 years. I mean, a lot of technology changes happened in 17 years.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see how much more technology change happens as a result of what we're going through right now.
Sure, you bet. And it will.
Yeah, for sure will. Well, great. Steve, thank you so much for spending some time with us. It's been great to hear about what Velocity is working on. Do you have any last thoughts you'd like to share to our watchers today?
Yeah, and this is, and thanks for that opportunity. I share this with our team. We've gotten into a lot of Microsoft Teams calls and virtual meetings, both from a work standpoint and just a social standpoint. But one of the things I shared, and I look at myself as kind of glasses half full, silver lining. And so I look for the opportunity in this, right? And the opportunity in this, I think, provides us some reflection points. It's almost like a timeout or a halftime. You get to hit the pause button and sit still for a minute and think. And And so I myself and I ask our team, think about what you want to be when on the other side of this as we restart. It's a chance to mentally improve, to personally improve, come out of this as a slightly different person in one area of your life or another, and use this time to kind of reflect and figure out how do you want to do that and what does that look like. And I think that will help everybody move back into kind of the normalcy of the world with perhaps some refreshed ambitions and goals. And if we can all do that, I think we'll be in great shape.
Wow, well, that is a great way to wrap up here. Such good advice on thinking of, how we want to come out of this on the other end. Steve, thank you so much for sharing some time with us today. I'll link to Velocity here in the post, so if anyone wants to learn more, they'll have the link right there. Thank you again for all of your time, and I hope that you take care and have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks so much.